Racing on Thursday takes us to the Vaal, where we've got 8 races on the program. Race number 1 set to get underway at 12:45. 1700 meters will be the distance for race number 1. And joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, Raheel. Really looking forward to this weekend. And even though I'm not a lover of double-header fixtures, I think the tone is set on Friday with that twilight meeting at Hollywoodbets Greyville. Not that there's anything that's going to be running on the Hollywoodbets Durbanville, but to go from Fairview to Hollywoodbets Greyville into what looks to be an unbelievable 19-race program across the calendar on Saturday, the 2nd of November, into that Hollywoodbets Greyville turf meeting on Sunday. I mean, we've got to see it again versus Royal Victory in a Pinnacle Stakes, even though neither of them are going to be focusing on that being a big payday for the season. I mean, that is going to be well worth the entry fee. So a big weekend. We've got to get through this Halloween meeting at the Vaal on Thursday, the 31st of October. One horse that I really like on the card. The rest of it looks quite trappy, but come across the finish line with a few shekels in the pocket, and I think we'll do quite well and be very pleased to set ourselves up for the weekend.
Yeah, I see the inside rail is set out at 0 and the outside rail 10 meters in from the 1600 meter mark with a 10 meter spur at the 600 meter mark. So that would make me believe that the low number draws would be favourable, Alistair.
Yeah, that would be the angle that I'll be taking down the straight. I think that's the case now for a while, as I see that's the same at the Vaal on the Tuesday meeting coming up on the 5th of November. So I'd imagine that there's a little bit of work going on to the outside half of the straight at the Vaal. So yeah, low numbers down the straight. They'll be the focus on the next couple of cards of the Vaal, including this one.
Well, the first race on the program, the start of the Barpod Work Riders Maiden Plate, and your favourite here is number 2, City of Lights, a well-tried daughter of Pomodoro, who's had 23 starts in the maidens at 14-10. It's 28-10 Arctic Vixen. Gloria Mundi has found support, having a first start for Tony Peter. She's from 7-2 into 28-10. Past the baton at 5-1. It's then 14-1 and better bar those. Now, Barpod gets underway, Alistair. It's not an exciting race to start off the program, but what's your thoughts?
I think when City Lights stands out as the horse to focus on, you know that you're not looking at the creme de la creme. Draw number 1 around the turn, that's going to be a big advantage. Siam Kumbuzi takes her out for Fani Broncos. This filly's had her chances. She's conspired to get herself beaten. She's moved up with so much in hand and failed to get the job done. Just one run of her last 10 jumps off the page, running 2 lanes behind Oxalis Gold. Found her totally wet behind the ears, Oxalis Gold, but just a week earlier, Oxalis Gold actually won like a horse that's a couple of divisions better than the opposition that she beat. So the case for number 2, City Lights, is pretty strong, but how much can we trust a 23 start maiden? The answer is not very much, but I would hesitate to say it's now or never, but I'd say this is probably her best opportunity to get the job done. There's no doubt the most interesting horse is the Tony Peter train number 5, Gloria Mundi, the daughter of One World. She's all got smatterings of form that suggest that a win might be around the corner. The Tony Peter can get a little bit out of this daughter of One World. It wouldn't take much for her to feature in this race. So it is the first leg of the Barpod. I don't see too much troubling these horses. So 2 and 5 will be my play. I'd open up the swingers, probably not exactas, because you just need one of them to have a bad day, and it won't take much for one of these to have a bad day. So both horses in the Barpod and swingers numbers 2 and 5 to kick off the opener at the Vaal. Thankfully, the card does get better as it goes on.
We move along to race number 2, the start of the place accumulator, and this will be at 1. 1,000 meters the distance, maiden plate for fillies and mares. And number 13, She's a Rocket, is the filly that, the colt at least, that tops the boards here. 5-2 into 16-10. First timer from the Tony Peter yard. 28-10 Milo's Millionaire. It's 7-1. And better bar those. Now, there's a lack of form on offer here in the second race, and it wouldn't be a shock to see this 3-year-old, it is a filly, 3-year-old daughter of Captain of All win.
Yeah, Raheel, this race does set up for a first-timer because the race runners are pretty well exposed and they seem to be where they are. The one race runner there are actually 2 race runners that I want to make a mention about. They are numbers 3, Winter in Paris, and 7, Milo's Millionaire. I'll probably actually tip number 7, Milo's Millionaire on top despite a 131-day break because she's got a more middle inside draw. She's run to Simply Majestic, who would simply eat this field alive. So I think there's enough for number 7, Milo's Millionaire mare to respect her chances and to include her and make her a key horse in your play. Number 3, Winter in Paris, is very interesting to me. If she was drawn more towards the inside, and I'd probably like to see her over a little bit more than 1,000 meters, to be fair. But it is her third run after a break. She's a regally bred daughter of What a Winter out of Louvre, who would have been a gun filly mare of her generation if it weren't for Beats Beauty. She was running in the same era. So there's a few reasons why I don't like Winter in Paris, but there are a few reasons why I do. And I think her last run, even though the form line will take a lot more to convince me that it's going to be a form line to follow, it was a better run. And we know with the Stinger way of training horses that they do come on with runs under the belt. So I'd keep safe for number 3, Winter in Paris, and make a case for her at least getting into the top 3. But you're right. Even though I've had a good look at all the pedigrees of the first timers, the most enticing pedigree comes from number 10, Flying Solo, the daughter of Oratorio out of Pan Am. The Pan Am was a half sibling, sold on Saturday night for quite a bit of money. She's one of the establishment mares at Aventure, and Flying Solo is related to some well-performed horses. And Alec Ladd can get them to feature first up. So number 10, Flying Solo, does appeal to me. And then obviously number 13, She's a Rocker with Gavin Larena for Tony Peter. That in itself speaks volumes. 14, Touch of Heaven, bred to go a little bit further, so I'd sidestep her over 1,000 meters on debut. So tricky opening leg of the place accumulator. All the horses mentioned would be horses that I'd work around, probably in order of preference. I'd go 7 over the first timers, 10 and 13, and then number 3, Winter in Paris, potentially getting into the top 4 as well. Again, it's not a very pretty race. Any market support for any of the first timers would speak volumes, and also the advantage you have from a place accumulator perspective is you can check the market moves and watch them go down to the start, because I think that will probably dictate the direction that this race takes, to be fair.
Yeah, fully agree with that. Race number 3, 13:55, 1,000 meters the trip. This is a maiden plate that will get the pick 6 underway, and your favorite here is number 9, Bourbon Reserve, 22-10, 3-1 Tiger Storm, Bus Stop in Hounslow at 3-1, 4-1 about Quasi Cat, it's in 12-1. And Better Ball those. Now, Bourbon Reserve here, and he ran a fair race on debut, went third behind Believe in Fate. He has been rested and gelded since that, but given that he's out of a King's Barnes mare, you'd get the indication that he wants further.
Yeah, that would be my inkling with number 9, Bourbon Reserve, but it is by What a Winter, so there might be a little bit of speed there. It is drawn towards the outside, which I don't really like, but with that said, the first run behind Believe in Fate was definitely good enough to give a lot of respect to Bourbon Reserve. It's pretty quiet form line. You've got horses like Nkwele, who's not all that bad, who ran behind Bourbon Warrior, and Baynak, who was also behind Bourbon Warrior, who went quite close just a week earlier when drawn on the wrong side of the track. So I think almost to exclude Believe in Fate on that occasion, because she was just simply better than anyone else in the field, and perhaps isolate all the horses that were around number 9, Bourbon Reserve. I think Tarry's coming with an army. I don't know whether Bourbon Reserve will be in the front line of the army, but I do think that there are a lot of horses from Tarry's yard who we can start following. This is when he really perks up and has a go with the big feature races coming all around the country. So number 9, Bourbon Reserve, first run as a gelding, if not desperately in need of the run, and if the outside is stone dead, he would be a horse of interest. The pick 6 is my suggested bet. He is no banker for me. I did get a message this morning about number 7, Tiger Storm, who I do have in the play. Pierre Stratham takes it right for Fabian Habib. I must be honest, I don't think the form lines are strong enough to sing from the rooftops about the son of Rafif, but there is a word out about him, and with Striker on board, there could be any amount of fireworks. Went off to the front last time, was outrun by Remains of the Day, who runs later on in the card. I don't think there was a strong work Riders Maiden, was costly to follow. In fact, he has been costly to follow, having gone off favourite more than once and not won yet, but he's not a horse that you can leave out and totally ignore, although he wouldn't be my top choice. 6, Bus Stop in Hounslow, first run as a gelding. He may have been looking for that cut. Keratila Kacheri takes the right inside draw, probably enhances his chances. He wouldn't be a surprise winner if he won, so he'd go into the play. 10, Espinosa. I don't know if the form lines are strong enough. However, Gavin Larena now takes the right for Shaylin Nadu. And the son of Rafif out of a mare who won a number of times, Mula de Branco. She was trained by Joey Ramsden. Espinosa shows it could have some improvement to come. Definitely stepped up from the first to the second run, and may have just needed that last run as well, coming back from a 2-month break. So he looks like he's coming along the right way. And then number 12, Cut, Jared Penny for Mark Khan. They had a big price winner just a week ago. Again, the form behind Mother City is a question mark, but with that said, she didn't run badly and she can step forward. So I've got 5 horses in the pick 6, which is my suggested bet. 6, 7, 9, 10, and 12, with number 9 Bourbon Reserve being my top choice.
And no doubt, number 10, Espinosa, will be the best result in leg number 1 of that pick 6. Currently at 12-1 in the market for Gavin Larina and Shailen Naidu. And perhaps Gavin supporters, well, they'll get stuck into 12-1, and that could certainly start shorter come race time. Moving along to race number 4, this is over 1,700 meters, a maiden plate. Favourite here, Dylan's Champ at 14-10, Clear the Path 4-1. Number 9, Mega Hit at 5-1, it's in 6-1, and Better Bar Those. This horse, Dylan's Champ, I think it's time to strike with this horse, with the son of Rafif. He's had 3 starts to date. Gavin sticks with the ride, and he goes over 1,700 meters from a 2 draw. Your top choice here, or is it Clear the Path?
I've got a few horses in here. I can see the logic behind the support of number 4, Dylan's Champ. I can see why he would be a runner. He's an inclusion, but he's a full brother to William Robertson, and 1,700 meters for William Robertson. I mean, he's tried the trip before. He ran the Victory Moon and the Summer Cup when they experimented to get him to stay a trip, and we saw on Saturday that he is a top division sprinter. So the full brother goes 1,700 meters on a galloping track. I think he's got his vulnerabilities. On his last run, that form line is dead, stone dead behind Ombudsman, but the penultimate start form line is much better behind Xanthar, because the second horse, Schwarzenada, came out and won by double figures at his second start. And also the horse who ran last in that race, Pacific, came out and won. So those are the dynamics with number 4, Dylan's Champ. I couldn't possibly make him a banker. I wouldn't be joining in those members that have had a go on number 4, Dylan's Champ, but if he won, I would still be in my pick 6. I'm in the camp of number 1, Clear the Path, as my top choice. I think he needed his last run. It was a good run behind Dance King. Cabello Matsanyani rides for Brett Crawford. We know that Crawford didn't run a horse in Joburg during the winter. His first day out was in mid-October, and the horses certainly looked like they just needed that first run, although a lot of those first runs were pleasing. He's stepping up all the while. You can tell by the fact that he made his debut over 1,800 meters that he's just looking for a trip, and I think the fact that he's lightly raced probably bringing him along the right way. So number 1, Clear the Path, is my top choice. 4, Dylan's Champ is in. 5, Robert Browning, hard to ignore. On the run to Dance King, he does look held by number 1, Clear the Path, but Tyron Zaki's horses do improve at weird rates. Also second run after a break, so he should be fitter for that run. And then number 11, Instant Attraction, also goes in. Trent Mayhew takes a run for his father, Craig. 3 fair runs, better all the while, went off to the front last time, will be tested over the added distance, but gets a lightweight. Number 11, Instant Attraction, is a speculative inclusion, but an inclusion all the same. I've got her in because I think the dynamics at play with the Mayhews. I'd be annoyed with myself if she were to win and I left her out.
Yeah, number 1, Clear the Path, the top pick here at 4-1 in the market, and perhaps there could be some nice value there in race number 4. Moving along to race number 5 next. This is an MR80 handicap over 1,100 meters. 7 minutes past 3 is the off time, and your favorite here is number 2, What Tiger, the Navy Law, King of Venus. So 3 joint favorites at 5-1, 6-1 coming in hot, 1 and all, Sakala Eskatulo at 6-1. 8-1 and Better Bar Those. Now, scratch number 10, Lava Fire, Smith & Wesson, Kinchin Sharp. These are 2 class droppers, and they've been generously priced up at 8-1 and 10-1 respectively. I think that they could be big players, especially number 3, Smith & Wesson, Alistair, with Muzieni in the irons.
Well, for the viewers, we have not discussed this race. Real and I have not discussed this race before going on, and I have got 6 horses in my pick 6. Yeah. But the horse that I'm most keen on, and the horse that I'm going to have a good each-way play at the price, is number 3, Smith & Wesson, for those reasons that you've given. From a 93 to an 83, down 10 pounds in the space of 6 starts. Ran in Pinnacle Stakes and various other races against horses that are simply better than him, and by default, a lot better than this field. Last time behind Karanga Tang, I don't think was a bad effort because he ran into a little bit of trouble, gets Muzieni on board. The outside draw is what currently puts me off. If there is a little bit of action towards the outside, I'll probably increase the level of my bet on number 3, Smith & Wesson, certainly of my each-way play. It's the outside draw and the fact that he's forgotten how to win that puts me off. But for me, he actually jumps off the page, number 3, Smith & Wesson. There's no way he's a pick 6 banker because he just does not know how to win, but he makes so much appeal. And also, 4th run after a very, very long layoff. His penultimate start to Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky's been punching above his weight. For all those reasons, he is a very attractive each-way play for me. But if not him, then a lot of horses go in. And sadly, he's just, like I said, not a horse that you can be overly confident in just because of the fact he hasn't won in a long time. So number 2, What a Tiger, who was given some Pierce Stratum magic last time, has to go in. Stratum's 2 from 2 on number 2, What a Tiger. So he's a definite inclusion. 6-piece Treaty, I think, is a lot better than his last run behind Southern Blaze. He's worth another chance or two. Craig Zaki is up for Sean Terry, so include him. Number 7, One and All. When I sat in Pettigrew's office about a week ago, he was telling me he's very, very pleased with how this horse is improving after a gelding. He thought they were in a lot of trouble after the first 3 starts, but he's come to hand as number 7, One and All. So he's a horse just to watch and probably include. I've got 8, King of Venus in as well, just because he's consistent. He wouldn't be my top choice, but he'll go into the play. And then number 9, Sakala is Atulo under Raymond Danielson. I don't think his runs have been all that bad. On a line through What a Tiger, he is held by What a Tiger. He is held by King of Venus, but he is weighted to finish a lot closer to those horses from the start of the month. So I've got a bit of time for him, and I think that he could probably get into the money. At worst, Sakala is Atulo. So 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9, with number 3, Smith & Wesson, being my play in the race. I'm pretty sure he'll run into the first 3 at worst.
Yeah, I agree. I think Muzieni could perhaps be a bit of a lone ranger in race number 5, like we saw him do a few weeks back on that St. John Grey horse. The name escapes me now, but when he went down the inside, what's the name of that horse, Alistair, that beat Pomodoro's Jet?
Argo Alley,
Yeah.
who ran over 1,800 meters subsequently and didn't stay. So don't worry about that. Muzi was genius that day, but he ran his own race on the inside.
Correct, and we're hoping for a bit of the same on Thursday with number 3, Smith & Wesson. 16-10 a place, 8-1 for win. Moving along to race number 6, 15:42, the off time. 1,600 meters is the distance. This is an MR 87 handicap. 5-2 Champion Warrior, 28-10 Deception Pass, 3-1 Parisian Walkway, 5-1 Brave Viking, 7-1 and Better Bar those. Alistair, I'll leave it to you to state your case about number 2 Champion Warrior.
Yep, banker of the day for me is Champion Warrior. There are a few things that I want to mention. First of all, Parisian Walkway is carded to run on Saturday at Turffontein, where there has already been a lot of early support for Parisian Walkway. So I can't see Alec Laird running the horse twice. So who knows what's going on there. I don't know what to make of it. But anyway, that's Parisian Walkway. I don't know if number 3 Deception Pass is good enough to beat Champion Warrior, especially in receipts of half a kilo. So banker of the day for me, Pierce Stratum takes a ride. Don't be fooled by the fact that he beat Whirly, the 10-year-old Whirly by only a length last time. Please be with me. He won that a lot easier than the margin suggests. He steps up to a mile for the first time down the Vaal Straight. He's 1 from 1 down the Vaal Straight, and as I've established and as everyone understands, the Vaal Straight is such a specialist course, and if you can do it, then there are any amount of wins to come. Right now, and there's a long way out, right now, he would be my World Sports Betting Grand Heritage horse to focus on, just the fact that he won. He started his career with an absolute bang. Number 2 Champion Warrior win with Brett Crawford. He lost his way. He was probably rated out of life, and on the back of a rating drop, he became more competitive. I've always been of the opinion that when he wins, he'll go in a bit of a streak. I think he's a confidence horse. I think he was low on confidence, and those runs to Midwinter Wind and Warhawk Bomb are probably evidence of that. The fact that he moved up a winner and couldn't get the job done, but going down the Vaal Straight brought about a lot of life, and I think that he's progressive. I think that he's better than every horse on the race off an 86, and I'm going to bank him in all bets. He's my pick 6 play of the day, and hoping that he can get the job done.
Yep, Champion Warrior, race number 6. Moving along to race number 7 next, and the 7th race on the program will be run over distance of 1,800 meters. Fillies and Mares 83 handicap, 17 minutes past 4 is the off time. One Religion 2-1, Ariel's Jet 22-10, I Am Regal at 33-10, 5-1 Sage with Roses, and then double figure odds about the balance. Numbers 8 and 9 are scratched, so it's a field of 7 runners that remain. Race 7, what's your thoughts?
I spent a lot of time on this race, Raheel, because it's one of those races where you look at it and you go, probably need quite a few. The two scratchings probably help the cause, numbers 8 and 9, Linger No More especially, and number 9, Pretty and Pearls. But after really spending a lot of time on this race, I was able to narrow it down to 3 horses, 2, 3, and 6. These are my reasons. Number 2, I Am Regal, behind Forgiveness last time. I think Forgiveness is miles above the handicapper. Muziani takes her on as daughter of Canford Cliffs. She's run with a lot of these horses in the past, and she's waited to stay ahead of them. Her run on the 20th of August, where she finished well in front of Said with Roses. She's got a very valuable swing for the at the weights, does I Am Regal, from that perspective. Again, on the run on the 12th of September, when she did heat to a sneak preview, she finished in front of Ariel's Jet, who I make a runner, by the way. She's half a kilo better off for a length, so in theory, I Am Regal should stay ahead. On the run to Caddy Zora on the 12th of October, funny enough, Caddy Zora has her measure, but that is, I think that I Am Regal's a better horse on a more galloping track. So, number 2, I Am Regal, definitely in my play. Number 3, Ariel's Jet, got to go in. Gavin Lorena, Erico Verdenese, that combination fires. Olivia's Way, the horse that beat her last time, progressive 3-year-old trained by Roy Magna, receiving weight for number 3, Ariel's Jet. I thought it was a good run from Ariel's Jet, and she'll be set up sweetly, I think, to run a big race, if not winning. And then number 6, One Religion, a horse that I completely gave up on, but then came back with a bang last time and ridden ice cold. She won. She came past doing handstands on Diego de Gavea, who looks like he's getting a lot of chances from Roy Magna and taking them with both hands. Comes off a £6 penalty, which I think is justified for the manner of her win, but maybe they've learned how to run number 6, One Religion. In the interview, Roy Magna's assistant Casey Buerta was adamant that the instructions were put her to sleep, sit last, and that will work. And it certainly worked with number 6, One Religion. So if that's the play and that's the way with number 6, One Religion to run those types of races, she could have a little bit in hand as well. So I've settled on 2, 3, and 6. If you're looking for one more, it would be number 5, Caddy Zora.
Yeah, 2, 3, and 6, and Caddy Zora could be nice value there, 12-1, and could be worth an upset chance here in race number 7. Moving along to race number 8. This is the final race on the day, 1650, the off time. Fillies and Mares, 68 handicap over the 1800 meter trip. Favorite here is number 9, Have a Party at 2-1. Play with Fire at 9-2, 11-2 Sneak Preview, 11-2 Party Punch, 6-1 about Stormy Sunday. It's 8-1. And better bar those. This horse, Have a Party, well, she's holding form nicely. She ran second to One Religion last time out, and if One Religion comes through to frank the form in the previous race, no doubt that this filly will shorten in the market, given that race 7 is a stronger race.
Yeah, I'll make her a chance. This is a very tricky race. I don't want to spend too much time on this race for Hill, because there's just a lack of class here, to be quite honest and to be blunt about it. Have a Party is in my pick 6. Not convinced she actually got the trip at her last few. Even though she ran nasty, she's always struck me as a horse that would just be tested over 2,000 meters. So I think stepping back in distance will help her along. As you say, One Religion runs in a race stronger. Penultimate start against Ideal Future, who's formidable at the Vaal. A cracking run when the saddle slipped. She hasn't had the rub of the green. She gets motivated as a chance. Number 10, Northern Kitten. I think if she goes the trip, she could be very dangerous. It's a question mark whether she will, but her rating has been dropping. She hasn't been too far off in some of her runs. I'll include number 10, Northern Kitten, but without getting excited about her. And then 1, 2, and 3, my other horses. Number 1, Play with Fire, just got up to beat 2-Step Queen last time out. But I think with that confidence and with that win under the belt, she's just worth following up with. Number 2, Teo Toriato, penultimate start behind Demover. She actually made up a lot of ground over the closing stages. From draw 1, I can see her being dangerous. She's probably better over a mile and a half, because she had a win over 2,400 meters, and her best run out of the maidens was over the trip as well. But maybe she can stretch them out, make them gallop. That could make number 2, Teo Toriata, dangerous. And then number 3, Sneak Preview, absolutely did not get the trip over 2,600 meters last time out. Coming back to a more regular trip for her makes her a bit of a chance as well. Lots and with chances. 4, Stormy Sunday I've left out, but I'd probably advise including her if you can afford it. Likewise, number 6, Party Punch from a deep draw. The list of opportunities here is endless, but I've gone with 5 horses just to suit my budget. 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10.
Yeah, it looks to be a tricky race to wrap up proceedings on Thursday out at the Vaal. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet, which is a pick 6, and that does get underway with the running of race number 3. Alistair, take it away.
Yep, 5-2 is when the pick six gets underway. 6, 7, 9, 10, and 12. So Bus Stop and Hounslow, Tiger Storm, Bourbon Reserve, Espinosa, and Quasi Cat. By 1, 4, 5, 11, Clear the Path, Dylan's Champ, Robert Browning, and also Instant Attraction number 11 on the card. By 2 Water Tiger, 3 Smith and Wesson, who I like at the price, 6 Peace Treaty, 7 1 and all, 8 King of Venus, and 9 Sakala is Atulo. By number 2 Champion Warrior, the banker of the day. By 2, 3, and 6 I Am Regal, Ariel's Jet, and 1 Religion. And then the finale, Hard Race, held it to 5 horses, 1 Play with Fire, 2 Territoriata, 3 Sneak Preview, 9 Have a Party, and 10 Northern Kitten.
That is the pick six for Thursday out at the Vaal. Alistair, thanks very much. Looking forward to the meeting on Thursday, and especially looking forward to the weekend's racing, where we've got lots of action.
Yep, the weekend will be a ripper. And everything that leads up to it. I mean, it is what it is. We're not going to get the See It Again versus Royal Victory on a Thursday at the Vaal, but this is what we got. This is the hand that we've dealt, and we've got to make the most of it, and hopefully we do.
All the best with racing at the Vaal on Thursday.